Hey folks, and welcome back to today's channel. Today we're diving in to the latest Pokemon TCG set of the Scarlet and Violet era, Destined Rivals, in our, what I'm calling our post-release weekend clarity series, where we'll be reacting to the latest drops, trends, prices, and more importantly, product availability. So let's talk about this set. This is hyped up with both stunning artworks, iconic characters, and an unprecedented amount of nostalgia. So when did Destined Rivals release? Well, it released on the 30th of May. I'm recording this on the 3rd of June, so it's just a few days after the sets come out. Hopefully we'll have a look and see if the prices begin to settle a little bit. It is the 10th set on the Scarlet and Violet series. There's over 240 cards, including 17 Pokemon EXs and more than 85 trainers Pokemon, not too dissimilar to Journeys Together. Notably, 45 of these Pokemon are Team Rocket's Pokemon, bringing, as I said, a very similar feel of nostalgia, much like Journeys Together, which I believe is probably fueling a little bit of the hype. Like Team Rocket, people love that. Takes them back to sort of that one of those first original sets with Dark Pokemon. And yeah, I think that's probably where a lot of the demand is sort of derived, really. Destined Rivals introduces another gluttonous amount of illustration rare Pokemon. They are beautiful cards, but it sort of tarnishes what they are, I think, in my opinion. I remember when, I think it was Brilliant Stars came out, that was the first time we had those really beautiful illustration rare cards, and it felt really cool when you got one. And now every set seems to have every other Pokemon has an illustration rare, so it kind of tarnishes and the novelty wears off a little bit. But there is some really cool cards in this set. Standouts include, you know, Heathen's Ho-Oh, Cynthia's Garchomp to be the main ones, which we'll cover in our next short segment. But there are a lot of notable cards which I don't think are going to be quite as expensive, which is good for me because these are some of my favourite Pokemon. You've got some really cool art styles as well, such as the Shaman, number 185. I think that's really funky and really, really cool. Obviously the Rapidash is pretty unique. I think the trio of Ethan's Typhlosion, Team Rocket's Houndoom, and the Blaziken all look fantastic sort of together. You've got Misty's Psyduck, which probably, as I say, we'll see in a little while, could be a little bit on the more expensive side, but also you've got Misty's Lapras as well. Again, unique style from the Rotom and the Team Rocket's Meowth as well. I love that sort of style. I think in terms of what I don't like the artwork of the Zamazenta. Is there any others? Sorry, I'm just having a quick glance. No, it's probably just that one. I don't mind. I would be relatively happy pulling any of the other illustration rares. Maybe that Hadrapple. Maybe. Don't like the Crustle. I don't like the artwork on the Crustle. But the rest, you pretty. They all look pretty cool. The beauty of there being so many is that hopefully the price of these cards will drop. I think they will do over time. I think it'll be a really heavily printed set, but we'll cover that in a short second. So now let's look at some of the top 10 most valuable cards for Destined Rivals. This is currently based on eBay's most recent sold. If you look at like eBay groups, they sometimes are a tiny bit higher for one reason or another. Sometimes they can be lower. Facebook groups, I meant. So first off, we have Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. This absolutely beautiful card features Giovanni and Mewtwo. It gets very similar vibes to the Pokemon Go one. The Mewtwo in the sort of flying in the air. The difference is the colours are a lot cooler and it's a lot more expensive card. Currently ranging in the UK in and around the £250 to £260 price range. Again, we are only 4 days-ish into 4 or 5 days into sort of the release of the set, so I do expect that to drop a little bit, but usually it might sit around that sort of price point. Pull rates for this card, so it is a special illustration rare. Pull rates per pack, you're looking at 1 in every 94 to get any SIR, and to get a specific SIR you are looking at 1 in every 1033. All this information is pulled from TCG Player, who do a post every time a set is announced. They open a couple of thousand packs and take the data from that, so I am using that Reddit post just here. Second on the list, we are featuring Cynthia's Garchomp EX Special Illustration Rare number 232. In the UK, this is ranging in eBay last sold for around you can pick it up anywhere from 130 to 160 pounds. Again, don't kill me on the pricing on that. I could be incorrect. Pull rates on this, again, very similar to the previous one. Any SIR is 1 in 94, specific is 1 in 1033 packs. I think it's a great artwork. It features a really, really awesome battle pose between Cynthia and Garchomp, which I think is pretty unique on this card, and it does feel like there's a lot going on. I am usually a fan of a card when there is an awful lot of detail and a lot going on, sort of almost like live action, I guess. On to number 3 on the list. It is Ethan's Ho-Oh EX, number 230 from the set. It's currently ranging in and around the £120 range. Again, really awesome card, really high detail. It's got that sort of Ho-Oh flying over Ethan, similar to like when in the game where it flies over. I can't remember the city, but it's not too dissimilar to that. Yeah, really, really cool card. And yeah, pull rates on this one are, again, similar to the last one. I'm not going to read it again, it'll just be on the screen. Next, we move to Team Rocket's Moltres EX, number 229 in the set, so one just before. Again, not too dissimilar to the to Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. I think I just love the fire on this card. Again, the detail and the flames of Moltres is really, really cool. It's a really awesome sort of cityscape. Love it. Again, 110 to 120 pounds in the UK. At number 5, we have Team Rocket's Crobat EX, number 234. In and ranging around the 60 to 70 price range. Similar pull rates as all the other mentions. The first sort of bulk of these cards are all special illustration rares. So if you do get one, that is fantastic. And the final illustration rare, I think, maybe, my list could be wrong, is Team Rocket's Nidoking EX, a very number 233 even. A very, very similar price, competitive to that sort of Team Crobat's EX. So again, I've sort of seen these go for around 60 to 80 sort of price range. Number 7 on the list is our first gold card. It is Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX, number 240. You are talking around the £55 mark. It is the highest gold card in the set. It's classed as a hyper rare. Pull rates on this as a hyper rare is 1 in 149 packs. To get a specific hyper rare, it's 1 in 894. At number 8, we have Ethan's Adventure, number 236, currently ranging in and around the £45 mark. I have no idea if this is an SIR or what. Let me have a quick look. I think it is an SIR. Pull rates are as before. At number 9, we have the highest illustration rare on the list. It is Misty's Psyduck, number 193, currently ranging in and around the £45 mark. Again, beautiful card, really cool sort of to see Misty and Psyduck swimming together. It's again, it's a really, really awesome card and unique artwork, and really sort of hyper realistic-esque for a Pokemon card. Hyper realistic sort of water, which again I think it makes it stand out. And finally, at number 10, it is Ethan's Ho-Oh EX, another gold card, just to round out the set. Just there. Currently ranging in around £25 in the UK market. There is quite a few in that sort of £20 to £30 bracket that you could choose, but I like 10, so I kept it at 10 and I just picked one out of a hat. Just so you guys know, just having a little bit of a where are the exclusive promos, what are they? There is 2 promos, so there is the pre-release ones that all have a stamp on. I can't remember what they are. I've seen them somewhere, but I'll put them on the screen just now. But you also have in the Elite Trainer box, so in the Pokemon Center one and the standard one, you have a Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. One has the Pokemon Center stamp on, which means it is more expensive. And then you also have Team Rocket's Trainitar, which is a promo card that you can get from the Pokemon Center during a particular event time period if you spend £15, which for some bizarre and unknown reason at this moment in time is very difficult in the UK. Okay, let's have a quick chat around product availability. What is a retail price? Because with things going so crazy at the moment, sometimes if you're new to the hobby, it can be really hard and difficult to work out what things are meant to cost, and do you know, are you being charged more than you should be? People have this idea of market sets the price. In reality, everything has an RRP in the UK, so a recommended retail price. This is what retailers are recommended by the distributor to sell things for. It's a recommendation, from what I gather, don't quote me. But booster packs should retail around £4.29. ETBs, so Elite Trainer boxes, around the £50 mark. There is also the Pokemon Center version of this. Again, those are always more expensive. They are more limited, so they do cost more. Original price is around £50 or £55, but these tend to creep up double sort of instantaneously if people look to make a quick bucks. Booster boxes seem to be very, very hard to come by at the moment. A booster box in theory costs £150-ish, because if all the packs added up, it's 36 packs in a booster box. However, I remember when you used to be able to get them for £120 pretty consistently. So we will see if anything drops like that again. You know, a lot of retailers have had to do sort of lottery systems. So like, I think Chaos Cards may have done one. I think maybe Magic Madhouse did one, or someone like that. So I was lucky enough to get an Elite Trainer box from Chaos Cards, but I entered all of them, and that's the only thing I got. So for someone who likes to maybe keep one or two booster boxes, or a booster box of each set, but also open stuff, it's been a little bit rough. Admittedly, I should probably just keep everything sealed because I never really get anything good. But anyway, there also is 3-pack blisters, premium check lane blisters, and all that sort of stuff. And I'll put some of the products on the screen just now. I think there was also Mewtwo ZX collection box as well that I've seen that's not out just yet. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think Pokemon and the hype at the moment in the hobby is built on a culture of fear of missing out, which essentially is driving the price up, and that means that people can scalp the products, but also means that collectors can't get the products. So we're sort of in this weird catch-22. I think if I was speculating on, this is purely speculation on the sort of print numbers for these sort of upcoming sets. So this, again, prismatic, maybe black and white sets that are coming up as well. I would say that like production decisions are probably made months and months and months ago. You're talking like decisions on what was going to be printed and where, and what quantities were probably made last year sometime. So I think I recently saw, maybe incorrect, but an announcement where Pokemon said that anything pre-Surging Sparks was now going to be not printed, which I think for sets like Destined Rivals and the black and white sets is only a good thing, right? I think these will, and Journeys Together as well. I think if you look at the availability of Journeys Together versus Destined Rivals, I think it'll be comparable in the not too distant future. I think Prismatic is maybe a little bit of a different beast. Holiday sets traditionally are less printed, less available, and therefore more expensive. So that's just my sort of 2p in this sort of debate. I see a lot of stuff online of YouTubers saying it's all doom and gloom, end of the hobby, this sort of stuff. But I think it will get better. it just takes months. There's like must be again 3, 4, 5, 6 month lag between products not being on the shelves and printing. I think if I look back to 2022-ish, maybe 21, 22, or when just after COVID, and when Vivid Voltage was out, it was very, very similar. Like, there was no products anywhere. People were ripping them off the shelves, either opening them because it was big in the streaming world or selling them online. So I think we will get back to normal. I think we are on the road to recovery. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this first in what may or may not be a series, depending on how successful it is, in my post-weekend review. That's not what I called it at the beginning. It was the post-release weekend clarity series, because when I say that really quickly, I say a different word. But if you did enjoy, if you found anything useful or learned anything, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I'm trying to upload pretty consistently every week, and some shorts too. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. If you did have any thoughts, feelings, or comments, leave them in the comment section below.